Buongiorno, pomeriggio, buonasera, fellow Melanisti, and welcome to a very impromptu live MLM podcast. Not expected, not scheduled at 6 fucking a.m. in the morning. And welcome to my co-host today. He's everyone's favourite AC Milan Uncle Gino. We've got Lab Gorilla and we've got Nico, all from Milanista 360 Defensive Dynamo. We are here, we are live, we are ready. Let's go. Let's go. John, what have we got? What have you got for us?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. I mean, this is an ungodly hour. I am going to kill a certain someone. We will discuss this later on. Max, how you doing, bro?
Yeah.
It is Max is in his car, right? Gino he's out of jail, so I don't know what's happened there. We've paid his bail, and Nico, bless Nico. I don't know what you're loaded with to be awake at this time.
Tequila and Monster.
This is going to be fun, right? Okay.
So yeah, we're all here somehow. Well, I say all here, mostly all here, I should say. But we've got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get going, guys. All right, let's get going.
Let's go.
Oh, by the way, Max, pleasure meeting you face to face last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you get a special gift from Milanista 360? A running joke. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Now he knows.
There she is.
Now he knows. He knows.
He truly appreciates Elder Body McPherson.
What a calendar.
Is this the finest collection of L, or is it the most recent collection of L?
It's a 1997 calendar.
Yeah.
The finest collection of L.
It's a good year.
It's the best couple of minutes.
It's a vintage year.
It's the best couple of minutes I've had all year, so it's great.
I tell you, the funniest thing was going to watch the Milan Legends game, getting into through security, and they're like, "We need to see what's inside that envelope." I went, "Fuck, no." I went, it's not for me. It's for a young lad. And they're like, "Well, no, I shouldn't have said that shit." And it opened it up, looked inside the envelope, and it's like, "Oh." I went, "Is it? Yeah." I went like that, and then he goes, "All right, you can go." I went,
Nice.
Shit.
Nice.
Right. Hey, Kim Fahadinho. I'm seeing the comments. I got multiple monitors today, so we're good. We'll keep an eye. Right, let's get going with the first topic of the day, which I love. Napoli v Milan preview. There's quite a lot here. So, and actually, it's great that we got Max and Gino because we need to hear this. So, Conte versus Conceição. One competing for the Serie A crown, another competing for Serie A clown. We don't know where we're going to do this.
Mate, if you laboured that anymore, there'd be a child in a sweatshop right now. If you seriously,
I was like, what do I say now? Right, here we go. Expect to start 11. This is the important bit here. So all the information from Italy is that this is the most likely lineup. So I'm reading it for those of you who are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Okay, in goal, Magnan. Then we've got Walker, Gabbia, Ciao, Hernandez. In midfield, it's rumored to be Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Bondo, although Fofana is a potential. And then top from next three is Reindeer, Pulisic, Felix in one way or another, and Abraham up top. Looks like Santi Jimenez is considered a bit tired after he went to Mexico and apparently came off in one of the games with a bit of a knock. On the Napoli side, it is rumored to be Meret in goal, Di Lorenzo, Ramani, Buongiorno, Spinazzola. In midfield, Lobotka, Anguissa, and then Politano, Raspadori, McTominay, and Lukaku up top. So that's the lineup. What is your opinion, guys, on that lineup? What do you call it? Let's say, Max, you start since you're in the car.
I mean, looking at that starting 11, nothing surprises me too much. Apart from no Liao. Not sure why he wouldn't be playing. He hasn't exactly played 90 minutes for 2 games in Portugal. I think he's come off both halves, if I'm not wrong. Not surprised to see Abraham start for Jimenez. Actually, Abraham's come on and done a decent job last few games. Jimenez coming back from Mexico again. I can understand that he's had a couple of weeks, hasn't he, Conceição, with specific players. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he starts players over. He starts players because he's coached them for the last couple of weeks rather than the starting 11 players, the usual. Pulisic, yet fine. Reinders, yet needs to be there. RLC, risky. Don't know what version of RLC turns up. You never know. Fofana, Bondo, yeah, I quite like the look of Bondo so far. He's done quite well since he's played. Fofana, I know he's shaved his head and whatever, and he's trying to look more like Musa, but I don't think he's going to start. And then you got Teo, Chow, Gabia, Walker, yeah, fine. Mannion and goal. I mean, John, at this point, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, trying to
Yeah.
find motivation and be excited for games is really difficult, especially when you're away at Napoli, who don't have a particularly great team. Let's be honest. I mean, again, it's not a world-class team, is it? It's a couple of functional players in a system that works with a manager that knows what he's doing. And he's managed to get them to work with no European football, let's not forget.
Simple stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, simple stuff. And we're going to have a tough game. It's going to be difficult. Whether we win, lose, or draw, this will be a really difficult game.
Yeah.
And you hope we start, at least the starting 11 needs to be strong. This isn't our strongest 11, but I can understand why he would go with the players he has. That's
What's
my
your
take on it
opinion?
anyway.
Your opinion on Leao?
What, in terms of
Not
why he's not
starting.
playing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand it. He hasn't played loads of minutes for Portugal. Portugal isn't the other side of the world either. I know there's a bit of travelling involved. I'm not sure. The only thing I can think of is because he's had the full international. But then again, why is he starting Felix, Reinders, and Pulisic? They've all been on international break as well. So I don't know. I think Liao is your safest bet against the Napoli team. Famous last words. But yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
really don't know why you wouldn't start him.
Bit of an odd one. All right, Gino.
Yeah, I mean, can't really add much more to that. The choice of Felix, when I don't think he's really demonstrated anything of note, is one of those. Potentially, if you look at the last few Milan games where Leao's come off the bench, he's made much more of an impact. So he's probably being seen as an impact player at this point rather than a starting player. I don't necessarily think that that's the right idea. Tactically, if he's coming back into defence, covering off runs. I mean, McTominay and Politano have had absolutely incredible seasons. So the work that Felix and Pulisic will have to do in terms of doubling up will have to be pretty significant. Again, Fofana, Bondo, okay. Bondo's actually shown, he's going to be one of those players that I think can grow into something. RLC, I'm not sure what he's doing there. But just being on. But what's the other option? Because that would be usually Musa, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a Musa replacement. This.
It's just a clear Musa replacement. But it's just like what Max was saying. It is what it is. I mean, I'm looking at what that Napoli team's got in terms of firepower in the their front four. It's just a lot more dynamic what they can do than what our guys can do, and that's what's worrying me about really where our defence is going to shape up and how that midfield's going to anchor it. Like I said, I think Felix and Pulisic or whoever is on those in that top three will have to do a lot of tracking back tactically to not be overwhelmed by what those front four do. You see, and that's where I think Conceição trying to find a balance. I think that's where he's trying to find something just to almost kind of draw it as a stalemate rather than be anything progressive.
Right, great. Thanks, Gino. And Nico, Coach Nico, what's up?
I'm looking at this lineup, and I'm not surprised anymore. Honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. I listened to his pregame today.
You shouldn't have done.
I did because I was curious because you had told me about it. So I was like, "Fuck it." It was the first pregame I've listened to in about 2 months.
Really a bad one to listen to.
And he said that he made. So I took a couple notes down. First thing he said that he wants to win games. He's relying on winning games, right? On results. Looking at this lineup, playing Art lost his cheek. Felix, who doesn't backtrack, he's too busy worrying about his hairdo and looking pretty on the field. How can you tell me that you're looking to win games and trying to get top 4, top 5, whatever your objective is? Because I could care less at this point with this lineup. That's one. 2, I better see some tactical adjustments because all season he's been saying, I want my team to defend as a cohesive unit, something he was really big in Porto. I haven't seen it since he's taken over Fonseca. Actually, our defense has gotten worse under Conceição, which is fucking insane to me, I didn't expect that at all. All right. I mean, guys, Gino, we went over this at a pod, was it last season? We talked about Conceição, how impressed we were at his defense at Porto, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Max as well. What have you seen? Nothing. He hasn't made any tactical adjustments. We've gotten worse, which is, I don't know how that's even possible. And now we're near the end of the season. We have, 11 games left, 10? And we're fighting for our lives. And this is what he puts out now. Why not put Bondo and Fofana together? Why is Loftus-Cheek on the field? Why? What has he proved this season? Nothing.
Just on that, Nico, do you reckon that the reason why we've not seen the tactical change is because of personnel, or do you think that it's something else? Do you think that he's scared to make that change?
It's more. I've talked about it before. I'm not talking about just as a team collectively, but as individual adjustments. Certain things are missed. We've seen again and again. Not tracking back, not scanning the field, not looking over your back shoulder and looking at the back post. Things that he's seeing time and time again from the same players. And I've said it before on another podcast. What we're seeing on the field during game day is how they prepare for the match during training. Their training sessions must be complete garbage. Because on Saturday and Sunday when they show up, we see nothing. And they're preparing, and it shows you what they're doing during training session. He is not fixing anything. They're not listening to him at all. They've totally tuned out the coach. And this falls on his coaching staff as well, because they're responsible for picking up on these things as well and helping out Conceição during these training sessions, right? Not just him alone.
Yeah, Nico, you're spot on, because we've used the excuse of time, haven't we? He didn't have enough time. He's had loads of games. He had a really difficult February. But actually, he has had time, and the last couple of games have shown no difference. And there's no European football. So you're spot on. I couldn't agree with you more, actually. The time you gotta turn this time into results, haven't you, when you're the manager of Milan, regardless of how long you've been there. And you can give him a pass. I still think you can give him a pass for that first month. But ever since then, I think you're absolutely right. Nothing is transferring into the pitch. There's lots of talk, isn't there? Dobbiamo lavorare. But nothing changes. It's the same individual mistakes. It's the same collective. I'm not going to say cohesion. It's just like abrasive at the moment, the way that we play. But again, at the same time, I still don't think it's that different to Pioli. I still don't think it's that different to Fonseca.
No, it's great.
So I kind of sit here and I go, how much of it is the manager now, and how much of it is the players? And you know, these players, after a certain point, are going to start taking some kind of hit, because the players that we have, some of them have performed to a level before that we've got used to, and now they can barely kick a ball forwards or run. So yeah, I completely agree. Just before we go into anything else, better late than never. Guess who's here?
Here we go. Here we
Guess
go.
who's here?
He's made our screen smaller, even.
I mean, seriously.
Wow.
Guacamole.
Look at him. Just shame.
One punch each, guys. One punch each.
Yourself?
I'm so sorry. So I definitely I have two separate alarms. I have one alarm. I have one alarm for Monday to Friday because the gym opens 1 hour later.
He knows like I'm not listening.
and my alarm for Saturday and Sunday because it opens 1 hour later on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So I updated my alarm for during the week and forgot to update my alarm for Saturday and Sunday. So
The dog ate my homework, sir. The dog ate my homework.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's have a podcast at 6 on a Sunday.
There was a power cut. My family travelled to Paris and left me at home.
I woke up.
There we go.
You're getting smashed here, Shane. You're not getting away with it.
You're perfect for Redbird management. Where you're
I know, right? I woke up. I woke up to 3 missed calls. So yeah, I'm the fucking stress, trauma. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
Right.
Max is in his car.
Max,
sorry,
bro.
He's had to go to his car.
Okay, sorry,
we all turned up, Shane. We all turned up, mate.
I'm so sorry.
He's in his car all alone.
He's drinking tequila.
I'm gonna fucking Nissan Qashqai with an L McPherson.
Doesn't look like a pervert at all.
And you missed Shay. You said you missed John, right? You missed John having to deal with the washing, mate.
I'm so sorry.
Right? This is what happens.
Washing machine's finished now. No more gerbils in the
I got
background.
a speed cycle. It was whipping off all that water, mate. Right.
Oh man.
All right.
Right. Max.
That's enough.
Yeah,
Max. Max.
Yeah, Max. Can we do something about this where our screen is not smaller for one shade?
Oh, okay, that's worse.
That's worse.
Yeah, fuck it. Keep me up.
Let's do.
That's better.
Yeah.
You get banned for 5 minutes, Shane.
Right,
What's this do? Ooh,
no. You found the right key and now you lost it.
There it is. Just that fine.
The music. No, it's not. The music at the beginning. We need that again, man.
That one.
We need it right now.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. Right.
Well, you want the Benny Hill music? I can't make that happen.
Stop it. No, don't make it happen. It'll freeze everything up and then we're dead. Stop doing that. Right.
How does that work?
I'll do it on my phone. It's all right. Here we go.
Okay. So, Shane, to help you catch up. There we go. There you go. It should be in the background for the whole thing, man. No.
I've set that as my fucking alarm, John. That's what I did.
Well, we're going through the Napoli Milan game, right? Of course. We've all had our piece. Go on, have your piece, Shane, on the lineups that I'm showing here. These are the predicted lineups. What do you think?
Yeah, João Felix in the left wing position. Reinders.
Well, yeah, apparently so. Or those three could be in any combination, really. If you think about it, could be Pulisic on the left, Felix on the right, and Reinders in the middle.
We're saved because Loftus-Cheek is now in our midfield over Musa, and it's barely an upgrade. And now we have Chow sitting in the back line, who's about to be punted off to the Bundesliga in the summer. It doesn't really inspire me with confidence. To be honest, we'll probably win this one because Napoli are just
okay. He's just woken up. He's not right in the head.
No, I'm telling you, because Napoli are playing like shit recently, right? And we'll win this one, and everyone's going to get excited because we're going to qualify for the Champions League, lads. Not realizing that we have fucking Fiorentina, Udinese, Atalanta. Like the three of those we're capable of losing on our current form. So in terms of this fixture alone, I'm not too, I mean, who cares really at the end of the day, because I'm at the situation, right? No, I swear I'm at the situation now where I think
He needs
don't
more
want
than
to
coffee.
see us win games. I don't want to see us win games because I think what it'll do is it'll kind of promote the idea that management know what they're doing. And if we even scrape into the Champions League, it's just not a good look for us because there's better teams in this area that deserve to be there than how they played this year.
You'll see that in a minute. That's we'll discuss that in a second, Shane. Actually, the race for fourth. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to talk about on this game was Conceição's press conference. So Nico mentioned it briefly. I'm just going to go with a few picked out comments. All right, can't do the whole thing because it was boring as hell. But it starts with Mauro Suma. I mean, can you ask a worse question? How did you train with the players who didn't go on international duty? My comment was, "What the fuck?" You know.
What is that question?
And Conceição's response was differently.
Excellent
Jesus
answer.
Christ. Then the Corriere asked, Ibra is back after a few weeks. And Conceição cracked a joke. He goes, well, he can't play tomorrow. Ha, ha, ha. There is nothing to say. He is here with us. We have worked well with lots of hunger, looking for balance. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, what you said, Max, earlier on, talking about hard work and this stuff, came up again. Then the Gazzetta said, Gazzetta's trying to get answers out of him. You know, Abraham is more likely to start, I guess, because Jimenez has been away for 2 weeks with his national team. And his response, he avoids, and he's actually mentioned this, he avoids talking about individuals. And he goes, we trained well with all the players who stayed behind, not just Abraham. Thank you. We got absolutely nothing out of that. Then La Repubblica, Ibra and Furlani have been talking to you. What reassurances have you got that you're going to be here beyond the summer and your future? And he goes, it's you guys that talk a lot. I work for results. That's it. I'm not a little boy that needs his dad. I am here. I'm coaching Milan. I'm doing my work. We have 2 objectives, top 4 and Coppa d'Italia, which he says are the objectives now. Our third objective was a Super Cup, which we won. And then it's this wonderful question. He got asked about Ruben Loftus-Cheek and what he's capable of. And he goes, I see Ruben Loftus-Cheek as a player that can play as a trequartista or a box-to-box player. And that's when I just went, fuck you. Switched off.
He's good enough to shine my boots.
There's nothing much to say there, is there, guys? Any of you want to say anything about this?
No.
They're just very obvious questions. So better preparation is probably needed by him for that, because they're dumb. They're simple and dumb questions. We all knew Ibra could come back. You can answer that differently. We all know they talk around his future because pretty much every day, Gazzetta dello Sport has always got either Allegri or someone else in pole position, as they say, to take his job. These are all really obvious questions. I kind of feel sorry for him in the sense of, ever since he's come into Milan, his job has been questioned. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that he's not had a week where his job hasn't been questioned. Even the week when he won the Super Cup, it wasn't that he was il trascinatore. It wasn't that he was the future for Milan. Straight away, it's, well, what are they doing in the summer? Because, you know, his style of play isn't Milan's style of play, whatever it is. Well, that's also the media doing what it does. And I found it hilarious that last week it was e se fosse Conceição non se ne va. If Conceição doesn't go, I just found it hilarious that you've spent the last 2 and a bit months saying that he's going to end up going in the summer, that Milan have found a replacement. They've already got their person in mind. And now you say, oh, but what if in the end he doesn't go? So I kind of like, it's always been a bit of a poison chalice in a way. What Nico was saying before about we've not seen his imprint, but then what Max is saying is, but it's pretty much the same that we saw under Pioli and Fonseca. I think that whoever goes there has to have a massive cultural shift with the players. And unfortunately, Conceição's just been unable. But I do think that the questions are dumb. And I think that the answers just kind of reflect the stupidity of the question.
Yeah,
Gino, to your point, Gino. So there are some differences between Conceição and Pioli. First of all, Pioli was more of a player's coach, right? All the players loved playing for Pioli. Question is tactics, his 5-2-5 formation, 5-0-5, whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, the players trusted him, believed in him, all right, when we were winning games. That's one. Two, Conceição came, the minute he came aboard, he knew what he was signing up for. I wasn't surprised how Milan was being ran, how Fonseca was being treated before him. He knew exactly what he was signing up for. So I don't feel bad for him one bit. He's a grown man. He made his decision to come to Milan with this current project. That's two. Three, the minute he came onto the job, he pretended to be a tough guy, trying to start a fight with Calabria on national TV, breaking televisions during halftime, pretending he's some tough guy, some gangster, and that didn't sit well with the players, because the players have they're immature players. A lot of the kids, they're watching how he's conducting himself, and they're doing the same thing on the field with Musa's yellow cards. They were doing his dumb shit because Conceição was setting the example. So he dug himself a hole, and this is where he's at because of his undoing at the end of the day. That's just my opinion.
To that, I could counter that and say that I think a lot of the players needed, though, a sterner hand.
Yeah, but be real, be yourself. That's what I'm saying. Don't be this. That's all.
I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think that it is a pretend gangsterism. I think that is a very much who he kind of is. We remember him as a player.
Yeah,
that he was an enforcer type, tough player. At Porto, he was very remonstrative on the pitch. One of my friends, a Portuguese guy, was saying that you're going to laugh with Conceição, and I went, why? And he says because he's volatile. He's going to kick off. He's going to say that the grass was too long, which is why they didn't win. Which is the kind of stuff he was saying in Porto, right?
Yeah, he was getting into fights with other coaches as well.
Getting into fights with other coaches. So I don't think that it is like a feigning of power or strength, but I do think that, to your point, where I do agree, there is a lot of immaturity in that dressing room, which has not taken well to it because they've been mollycoddled. We saw with Fonseca, I mean, I never understood what Fonseca was as a coach. Just never understood it. Was it a thing of class? Was it a style? I never understood it. There was nothing there. Into that, with Conceição, you've got a strong character and a strong personality, something that Pioli never had. Okay, but like you say, that can irritate people. But come on, guys, we've all worked for people. We've had good managers, we've had bad managers, right? You still show up and try and do your best up to a point.
I think one thing that's like ultra clear, he really hates these press conferences.
Yeah,
he really, really hates them, and he gives nondescript answers. So the big difference in the press conference between Pioli, Fonseca, and Conceição, let's just say Fonseca, for example, he would tell you every detail. He would say, tomorrow I'm going to play this player, this individual in this position, so that the opposition could prepare themselves. That was a completely disastrous approach. Oh my God, I just did Fonseca. Conceição, on the other hand, he literally will not tell you anything. He's like, I don't want to really be here. I think that's part of the reason why Ibrahimovic was taking some of these conferences, which he shouldn't have been, because he's not actually Milan. He's at pains to tell us all the time. But anyway, let's thank you all for your comments on this. Sorry,
John, can I just mention just one quick thing about that?
Go on, Shane.
while we're showing the motorbikes, very on point, John. No, so quick one. So, guys, I think we can talk about coaches or anything like that. We have Theo Hernandez, who looks like a Serie B level player. We have Leao that hasn't shown up, right? That is, it is definitely not being helped by Fonseca or Conceição, right? To go back to Gino's last point, though, about the players were 100% mollycoddled, right? The thing is that used to work, right, to a certain point. But the thing is there's a very specific recipe that you need at a club for everything to take over and for players to feel like they're valued, right? Now, I'm not going to argue if the players should feel like they're valued, because I'd argue if you're earning $1 million a fucking, like a week, whatever, I don't think that you should need to feel valued any more so than anyone else. But the thing is we haven't had a fucking sporting director for 2 years, right? So there's literally no accountability over the coach. So at levels over the coach,
Sorry,
right?
my phone just started.
No problem. It is
Sorry.
at this club, right? At levels over the coaching staff, right? There is no accountability directly up into board level, and we're wondering where the fuck the problem is coming. That is literally it. It's a toxic club to be at. There's no ownership, there's no management, there's no nothing, basically. The last problem is the management and the players for me right now. So
well taken point. Well taken point, Shane. Yeah. Right, so this is a hot topic in the Italian media, I think, within the fan base itself. Milan, their chances of top 4. And I thought, how do we display this in the best way possible? Right, so this is what I call the Serie A constellation, all right? So we're going to go through the top 4 candidates, and this is my opinion, just my opinion. I want to hear yours. It really is a great display on how unlikely we are to make top 4, in my opinion. So we'll see teams, we'll see their current points tally and their gap to us as we stand today, Sunday 30th. Bologna, they're the highest placed. They're actually currently in 4th, 56 points, +9, guys, +9 on Milan. So keep that in mind. That's a significant gap. That's 3 games that can be thrown away, right? But let's look at their upcoming schedule. Their next games are Napoli, Atalanta, Inter. Then they've got Juventus, Milan, Fiorentina. That out of their last 8 games. That's an incredibly tough run-in that they have. And I personally, my opinion on this is that they could be the ones to drop out of that position, okay? Because I think their run-in is actually probably the most brutal of all the teams. Okay, now, any comments on this before I move on to the next team and their schedule?
They have no pressure, John. No pressure at all. So they'll play like it too. So they're a dark horse, I reckon, still.
Yeah, they're playing with house money at this point.
Yeah, they're going to be giving teams a bloody nose that are competing for top 4. And one of them, as you can see, is us. So, interesting. Right. Now, back to the constellation and back to the next team. Juventus, they won 1-0 against Genoa yesterday. They're on +8. And this is, I think, a revealing thing. Look at their fixtures. I'm going to say it. I'm going to call it. My opinion, Juventus are the team that makes top 4. I'm looking at their schedule, and I think they've got an open door. They have just fired Motta. Tudor has come in, and it's kind of like they're in a battle mode at the moment. I think looking at the schedule, looking at their other commitments, I think this is the team that makes top 4 and is favourite for it. Looking at their running, they've got quite a good running actually. What's your guys' opinion on Juve's chances of top 4?
Yeah, big,
yeah,
really big, because
a well-run club. That's the difference. They're literally they're building it like they deserve.
Well, they're not well. Nah, Shane, they're not well run. They're running like they're running like Milan in a sense with buying foreign players. The only difference is their players not anymore. They did believe in their coach's system for a bit, and the same thing with Tudor as well. They had a better coach coming in, and some better players. But
I think Tudor is very underrated and very undervalued, actually. When you look at the season where Pirlo was the manager, it was Tudor that was giving a lot of the instructions, because he was the only what's the title? Nico, you're gonna have to help me out here. his I think, you know, he had the actual
license.
He had the actual license, right?
Pro license.
The pro license. He was the only pro license in that management setup. So you can you can have your pro license.
Okay, gotcha.
If you're like the vice coach, you see what I mean? Because Pirlo hadn't got it by then. But so there was a lot of stuff that was going on. But also the thing is, he's one of those which players like. One of those managers that players like, and they just happen to have a better, I think, caliber of player around them right now. Where, yeah, they're running. I mean,
I think
they might struggle with Roma. They're not going to struggle with Lecce. They're not going to struggle with Parma. I don't really think with Monza. Bologna could bloody their nose. I think Lazio have dropped off the boil. Udinese and Venezia, I don't see them being troubled by it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think it was quite. There's like two teams that, to me, when you look at them, they're going to stand out as very, very, high favourites for finishing top four. I think Juve is definitely the big one. So the next one in the table is Lazio, which we just spoke about. They're on +4 on us, and this is their running. So again, you look at this, it's not so bad. You've got Atalanta Roma coming up, but then you've got Juventus Inter as two of the last three. It feels to me like Napoli's recent results, they could literally lose any of these games because they're not consistent anymore. They are struggling. So I think Napoli don't make top four. What's your opinions on that?
You mean Lazio?
Sorry, Lazio don't make top four.
Yeah,
Napoli. Forget Napoli.
Yeah, I don't think Lazio make top four either, John. I think they're so hit and miss. I think this is the worst part of the season to be missed, and they've started being missed. So I don't think they'll make it either.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Are they the sacrificial lamb for us?
They're dropping.
That's the question. Do you reckon that we're gonna basically steal their position?
We're not stealing anything.
What is their position? You mean like 6th?
Are they? Are they that far behind now? Oh my God, they're 7th.
Yeah.
All right, it's much worse than I thought.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, man. All right, so next one. Let's look at the next team in the constellation. It is Roma, 52 points. They just beat Lecce last night again, so they're doing their jobs. Ranieri, I mean, the turnaround once
incredible.
Ranieri come in is stunning.
It's incredible.
We were dogging Roma earlier in the season too.
Yeah. They've now got
the best in Europe, isn't it? In Europe, since January, they would be leading any European league.
Yes, I think what are they, like 7 straight wins or something like that? It's something insane.
Something like that. They would actually have they would be out of the top 5 or 6 divisions in Europe based on their points tally. They'd be top spot. They have absolutely hit some form. And like I said, I think they're going to do the number on Juventus. Then you've got the Rome derby, which can always throw a banana skin into things.
Yeah.
But I do not see Hellas troubling them. Fiorentina, don't see them troubling them. I think they've got the game plan against Atalanta. Then they've got us, bloody hell. That they can absolutely muller us. None of this, I sistemato la squadra. I remember that one. I think this is the dark horse out of all of them. If I'm
really, Gino, wow, that's a take. That's a take, Gino, because I was looking at this and thinking, Jesus Christ, look at this running. Juve, Lazio, Inter, Fiorentina, Atalanta, Milan. Oof.
It depends what happens with Juve. It totally depends what happens with Juve. They either go really, really well under Tudor, which more than likely are, and their running is great, or they have some stumbling moments,
or injuries, Gino, as well.
Or injuries.
Dybala is out. Dybala's had surgery. This is the big one, actually. Dybala just had surgery last weekend, I think. So,
good God.
Yeah, I mean, I rule Roma out of top 4, but I like your take of a dark horse. This is a interesting. Yeah, on form, Gino, on form, I'm with you. I get exactly why you're saying that. Yeah. Anyone else? No. Okay, let's move on to the next team. I wonder who that is. Fiorentina. +1 on us. This is their running. Now, to me, look at their running, guys. Look at their running. The problem is Fiorentina are very inconsistent. So I don't see them making top 4, but I think they've got quite a good running. So I think they might make top 6, but I don't think they make top 4 personally. Their next 2 games are Atalanta and us. I think they lose to Atalanta. I think with us, toss a coin. But yeah, I think they make Europe, but not Champions League. Any other opinions on that?
And that's an achievement for them too. That's a huge thing if they make Europe.
Yeah, I think the coach has done incredible there.
Yeah,
best kit
All right.
in Serie A, guys. Best kit in Serie A, Fiorentina kit.
Fair. And then we've got ourselves and our running. So Napoli, Fiorentina, Udinese, Atalanta. That's just the next 4, guys. And then we finish off with Genoa, Bologna, Roma, Monza. I can't see it. And this is my point here, is I cannot see how this team makes up a 9-point gap to Bologna, first of all, and then all the other teams above us. And I bet the best way to show it is this. This is the best way to show it, right? The run-ins of all the teams against each other. There is nothing that says to me Milan make top 4.
Did you do this on PowerPoint or something?
Yes, I'm very familiar with PowerPoint. So,
Max, the production value here.
Yes, I'm impressed.
Gino, we kind of used an opportunity here and stolen all their hard work and put it on our podcast. So I'm quite.
It's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, a few of them are out of the line, but I'll take it what it is. It's fine.
You can hire a lab.
Yeah,
we can hire him, or we'll show up and like some.
Macarena. Right, but looking at all the teams, honestly, tell me your take. I want all your takes. Max, start with you. Who makes top 4 for sure, in your opinion?
I think Juve make top 4. I think that's the 4th team that take the slot. We're fucked, John. We are fucked. There's no chance. No chance. It's not. Again, I look at the other teams and I think, someone's going to drop points here. There'll be games that you're kind of expecting a team to win and they do something wrong. The problem is we won't pick up the points enough to do it. What you noticed, even with Pioli, even with Fonseca, every time we needed to win a game, we always lost or drew. Every bloody time. And, now we've got 9. We're 9 points behind Bologna. Yeah, we do have that game in hand, but the game in hand is Napoli away, who are trying to win the Serie A title. Fiorentina, we couldn't beat them in the first round. Udinese, they're always a problem for us. Atalanta, we lost the first game. Venezia, okay, we should win that. Genoa, we should win that. Bologna, don't know. Roma, probably not. Monza, probably yes. So, already we're going to drop. You could say we'll drop another 9 points at least this season.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. And I admire the people that are positive enough to say we still have a chance. I admire the people that are just looking at 6 points and trying to be positive on all their various platforms, podcasts, everything that they do. But I just cannot see it. I just can't see it. And it's not being negative or being extra negative or I haven't had my coffee this morning or whatever. I just mathematically don't see a way where we can be in the top 4. Now, top 6, again, I think that's difficult. I think even that is going to be really difficult. Any kind of European football next season is going to be difficult. And this is my kind of opinion on it. I get to a point where I think 4th downwards, I don't really care. I don't really want to be in the Europa League. I definitely don't want to play the Mickey Mouse Conference League. I'd rather be in nothing. At least that gives you a clean slate for next season. I know there's a financial cost to the accountants that own Milan, but at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit about them. What would be good is to have a coach. Even if it's Conceição, I'm still happy with that, who gets a full summer, a full chance, maybe 1 game a week, rebuilds the momentum, gets the confidence back in the players after a decent transfer in the summer. I just don't see a universe in which we come top 4. I know it's mathematically not impossible, but looking at these runs, looking at the teams, looking at Juve, looking at Roma, Gino Gino said this on one of our last pods that he thought Roma were a dark horse, but again, the form would say that if they were to carry on, they would be in a really good chance. Our form is horrendous. We're so up and down. And the problem is as well, we're up and down with results, but we're not up and down with performances. The performances are shite. They are literally shit. Like 45, 50 minutes of nothing. Then we put a show on and then we rush and struggle the last couple of minutes trying to score. I can't watch that for much longer. So that's my take on it. I don't know what you guys think.
Gino, go.
So when we're looking at it's like -9 from who is it from
Bologna.
top 4? Yeah. From Bologna. So we're -9 from Bologna. It's not that just we've got to get the +9. It's that they've got to drop 9.
Yes.
They've got to lose 3 games, and we've got to win the 3 games that essentially they lose, and then the rest of our games to stand any chance. So it's just not going to happen. I mean, I will literally eat this cat if it did. And it just, that's how confident I am that my digestive system is not going to be ruined for a whole summer.
Max will clip that.
Just clip that. The digestive system bit, not the hat. But the reality is, it's too many points. I think in podcasts that Max and I were doing back in January, it was like, no, you've got to win these 2. If you don't win these 2, that's it. And then we lost the next 3.
Yeah.
Or we lost 2 and then we drew 1. And it was like, well, we've just given up. Had we had those extra 6 points right now, if we had beaten Juve and Bologna on that reclaimed game from when apparently it was raining so hard in Bologna you couldn't get to the stadium, but it was as dry as a bone. Had we got that and we were only 3 points behind right now, I'd be going, oh, hang on, lads. But we're not. We're expecting other teams to drop so many points, and that somehow we end up having a defense which doesn't concede. Nico, I can already see his face. He's going, that ain't happening. Right? Shane, I'm not even looking at. He's not even on our screen. I've got Max who's in his car going, don't say it, but I'm going to say it. Like, we're now going to score more goals than we've ever scored in all the previous games. And we're praying that all these other teams are just going to end up not dropping their points. It's just not going to happen. It just won't happen. I don't even want to finish top 6. If that's the case, I don't want to even finish top 6. I'm like Max. I'd rather know Europe. I'd rather that it's like what Shane was saying before, that it's a horrible lesson to management, but management are ignorant. They're not going to turn around and say, oh, yeah, we need to change the way that we operate. Are they? Right? They're absolutely useless. They're monstrous. They're absolute cretins, the lot of them. Ibra's away for 3 weeks. Doing what? Setting up another paddle court or something. Just get a grip. Just get a fucking grip. If you're meant to be the contact point for Redbird and for Jerry, do some fucking work. And we all know he's going to say something dumb today, don't we? All know pre the game or post the game, he's going to say something absolutely dumb. We all know it. So
he's got to just to say I'm back. He's going to say something stupid. Yeah.
The lion's found his way out of the cave, or some dumb shit that only a Swedish person could fucking conjure up.
Max, I love IKEA. I love meatballs.
I love IKEA. I don't
know
IKEA.
He's Serbian. He just hides the fact that he's Serbian. That's all. He's not happy. He's not a proud Serbian.
Okay,
sorry, I'm done. I've had my rant. Sorry.
Thank you. Nico, your turn.
All right, so to kind of continue what Gino was saying about Ibra real quick. Ibra has no balls. I think now that Forlani's taken more control of the team, I think Forlani's cut Ibra's balls off, and he's not going to allow him to tell him to say any stupid things anymore. I think because he got upset about him with the GQ stuff.
Maybe that's why he took the 3 weeks off to recover from the surgery.
To probably see a therapist and cry it out and talk about Forlani, how much he's hurt him. But that being said, Ibra's going to keep his mouth shut, I think, going forward. Forlani's in charge of this club. That's the way it's going to be. Now, top 4. Looking at the schedule, there's no way in hell we're making top 4. Even if these players don't have the confidence, they don't believe in the coach, they don't believe in the management, they know their fans are not behind them. Even if they're showing up, they're getting booed left and right. And as we know, the players are very sensitive to that, right? They've complained about the booing at San Siro. It's like, the fuck out of here. You're a professional player. Suck it up, deal with it, and perform. But they don't have that in them at all. All right? And for me, I think Juve is going to make it. They're going to make top 4 because just of the schedule. And they're deservedly so. And honestly, everybody else said in this panel, I don't want them to make top 6. Because we're going to get embarrassed. If we make the Conference League or Europa, we're going to get embarrassed by some small little club in the Eastern Bloc of Russia over there. Lose 3-0 and get embarrassed even more. And then that's it. And what are you going to do after that? So I'd rather finish out a top 6, top 7. Hopefully next season, hopefully by the grace of some holy, magical God takes over and Forlani and everybody walks out of the club and sells the club, and we get somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Because we don't. This is what we have, guys. It looks grim, and I understand some people. One last thing, I know even Max said there's a lot of other channels out there that have been very positive, saying, "Oh, $100 million, we're going to win a Scudetto," blah blah blah. Listen, that's great, and I know they have to have subscriptions and create content and positive stuff, but reality is, our team is where it's at, and they belong at this spot. That's
which is true.
And the story.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You are where you deserve to be. At the end of the day, you are where you deserve to be. And to Gino and Max's point, if you look at the schedule, just look at Bologna on this table right now. The next 3 games they have are Napoli, Atalanta, Inter, right? They're 9 points clear of us. For us to make it up, we'd have to beat Napoli, Fiorentina, Udinese, Atalanta. It's just not gonna, mathematically, nothing makes sense about this making top 4. Just look at it. They only have 8 games remaining. You're asking for them to lose, start off by losing 3, and then us making up those 3 and more. And you look at our schedule, there's 0 chance of that. Literally, you can easily say, nail in the coffin, lose to Napoli, don't take full points from the next 4 games, you're gone. Drop any points there, you're gone. So this discussion, I think, that people are having about us making top 4, when you look at it like this as a table, it's an insane discussion. And I think you're living, that's my usual joke, you're an Egyptian fish living in the Nile. All right. So, Shane, please give us your take on the top 4 chances.
Guys, we're blessed this season, right? Because we have nine finals that we're going to be.
Oh god!
Shane, in that point, you know what that means, right? 9 different shirts for each game.
We're in a banter era. That's what it means, man. No, so we're gonna absolutely smash the living shit out of Napoli today. Probably 2-1. We're gonna climb up to 8th position. Then all the other pods on YouTube, all the Milan-centric pods are gonna go, right, we're in with a good chance here, guys. Right. But you know yourself, we're gonna drop points to, again, like Bologna and Roma. I could see 2 losses there back to back, right? So yeah, it is ideally for me, right? I would love that we qualified for the Champions League, based on the fact that I'm in fear, if we do not, that the management will act very quickly and act accordingly. And if we're playing in the Conference League, right, they will build the squad based on that only needs to compete in the Conference League. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the big concern I have. But we 100% deserve where we are in the league. No one's disputing that. If there's an off chance that we can qualify for the Champions League, though, I would take it. Because I think what's going to happen, because what's going to happen, John, right, is management are going to turn around in the summer and go, okay, guys, we're only playing in the Conference League, so we don't need Leao, Moynihan. I know Teo's already pretty much gone. So we don't need these guys. So they're going to be sold. That's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Gino, you might want to mute your mic, mate.
Mate, honest to God, my phone just keeps on. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm so sorry.
It thinks that Shane is asking it to speak. Hey Siri, hey Siri, hey Siri. So what's what you're saying, Shane? His accent, maybe. I don't know. Oh shit, I've done it to my phone. Dickhead.
Not that. Right. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Just going to read some comments because I think you've got some awesome comments in the chat, guys. So Kim is saying, guys, as bad as it sounds, yes, I always support Milan, but this time around it's better off that we don't even make Europe at all. I hope not. We don't deserve it. Ownership don't deserve it. I'm Kim, I'd shake your hand on that comment, man. And then he says, I want to see the Redbird grubs to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer. And then he says, Forlani is even worse off. All someone needs to do is to put some rat repellent in his office. Take him out for good. And then Kachavit says, so the Australians are in the house. Kachavit says, it seems the mouse Forlani ate the so-called lion Ibras. I'll finish it off. Ibra's nuts. That's what he ate. Yeah, but that's where we are. Honestly, I think it's when you look at the fixtures as a whole that you realize there is no chance anyone making an argument for us should just shut their mouths. And you can, I think it was you, Gino, that said your starting point is 3 games that someone has on us already. So you've only got 9 fixtures left. For fuck's sake, just do the maths. It doesn't make any sense that you make top 4. And for Conceição even to say, our objective is top 4, like, okay, you have to say that, but goodness gracious.
Wow. Don't get me wrong. We've seen it every season that there are results which none of us expect. Okay. And I don't mean the kind of results which, make sure that some team gets survival and some other team stays in the middle of the table. I genuinely mean there's always a potential shock, but come on, it's too far away. It's like being run over by a milk float. You've got enough time to get out of the way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's battery powered, and it goes at 5 miles per hour for a reason.
Yeah, Gino, on that point, real quick, you're talking about unexpected results. We kept thinking about that. There was a couple of games during the season where we thought maybe there was a turning point. The Madrid game, maybe it's a turning point. The Inter game, we beat them in the derby. We said, oh, maybe we'll turn around. No. After winning the Supercopa, beating Juve and Inter, it didn't happen. So there's a glimmer of hope, and then it just gets ripped away.
Isn't Royale back in 2 weeks? Because keep in mind, we beat Inter and Real with him on the pitch, guys. I'm just saying, that wasn't Kyle Walker that did that.
Oh, God. That is Shane. Let me just tell you something. I was sitting next to some Spurs fans, of course, because you're at their bloody stadium. First thing to say to Spurs fans, actually very friendly. The people that we had around us were very welcoming and wanting to talk. No, Gino, honestly, man, I've been in an Arsenal stadium playing Milan Legends, and it was nasty, mate. It was nasty. I jumped up and screamed when Vieri, I think, scored a goal, and they all turned around. They wanted to lynch me. I thought, oh shit, Whilst with the Spurs fans, they were more like, oh well, we all lose together.
Because they know we're not a serious club as well, so they they understand it.
But you know what they said? This fan was like, actually, we never thought that Chicken Royale was particularly slow. We didn't think it was particularly bad. We think he was always deployed in the wrong way. We didn't see him as a right back at all. We saw him as a more forward winger. And I was like, right, pinch of salt here. That's a Spurs fan talking to me. Probably doesn't know much about football. So most likely thing here is that he's not correct, because Royale is not fast, and I don't think he should be taking Pulisic's position. That would be an insane thing to even try. That's a good way of ensuring a loss. So anyway, I was just saying here, Chicken Royale being on the pitch, yeah, he's not going to take Walker's position, mate. Unless he's injured, he's not taking Walker's position. I know, see it.
But we all want to see it, John, because that's what we deserve. Supporting this tin pot fucking shit show club, John. We deserve it.
Okay, va bene. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next one. And this one I put together for Gino. The curtains roll back. Curtains roll back. A true leader, a visionary, said no one. Or maybe it's what some broken fans believe. So actually, this is a topic that Nico, you wanted to talk about, is why do we have fans that accept this? And I'm going to show you what they're accepting. You ready? Brace yourself. Grab the steering wheel, Max. That airbag is going to explode in your face. Forza Milan 2025. Right, so this is the topic, which is, fans that are accepting this, fans that are supporting this, fans that are to this day saying, but our books are really good. We're doing things. Do you know something? When I was putting this slide together, I thought to myself, this is supposed to be a collab between New York Yankees and Milan, right? Their badge and their emblem went all over our shirts. There's fuck all that's been touched in the New York Yankees, by the way, the other way around. There's just this one baseball that is just a memorabilia piece of shit, which then no one's going to use in an actual game. So actually, New York Yankees have nothing that's got a Milan badge that's overrun their badge. It's one-way direction only. Because, of course, they're greater than us. Anyway, your opinion. Let's start with, again, I can see you, Max, first, top of the screen. Your opinion on fans that are accepting this.
I think the word delusion comes to mind. It's probably the first word. I don't know. It's a difficult one because I'm not against marketing and branding and getting Milan out there and whatever. But like you just said, it's a one-way street, isn't it? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like this sort of stuff. I don't like putting loads of attention on shirts and jackets and baseballs and stuff. I prefer the stuff on the pitch. But for me, yeah, it's just an indictment of where we are. It's an indictment of where we sit. There's a reason our results are the way they are, and it's because we're putting too much effort into things that really don't matter. I mean, how much money does this actually earn us? Probably not that much in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I'm not interested, John, in this sort of thing. I don't like it. It doesn't change anything for me. It just builds frustration, and the people that accept it, I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they defend it. I just don't get it. Like, if you really do support Milan, and I mean, like, actually support them, not just decided to support them like 6 months ago, and you've watched the games and you've lived through it and you've supported them since you were a child, and you get annoyed when we lose and you're happy when we win, and you see everything emotionally, not just objectively, then I don't know how you can defend this sort of shit. Like, it does confuse me, and I do sometimes question their fanhood and how they can defend this sort of thing. And Nico's right, what the fuck is all this? Like, what does this do? Does this make us defend better? No. Does it make us attack better? No. Does it get us better players? No. What does it do? It just ticks a box somewhere for some moron who's too busy watching J-Lo jump on a desk. I don't know. I'm not interested, is my sort of opinion. Next, who else wants to go?
Go on, Gino, you're the next one down.
For those of us who live in the UK, we all hear the same thing. If you want to make life better for anybody in the north, you build a train that goes to London quicker.
Oh,
He's right.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That is literally, if you want to make life better in the north, make sure you can get to London quicker. And this is precisely the tactic that this board is doing with Milan. If you want to make Milan seem to be like a powerhouse of branding or whatever, you just associate it with the New York Yankees, which no one else can give a flying fuck about. And I've got nothing to add to what I've already said on the topic 1,000 times. With Max, I think what Max has just said is spot on. I couldn't care less. I think they're destroying the brand. As somebody that works in this, it absolutely kills me. It pains me to see what they've done to the logo. It pains me to see how it's associated with New York. If you're going to do absolutely anything that is some sort of collaborative imagining of the Milan brand, then you do it with Nottingham, not New York.
Yes, that's a nice touch. Yeah,
you know, you hark to some sort of glory of where Milan has come from and the journey it's taken, and actually you don't discount by any means of the stretch of the imagination what Berlusconi did. Okay, for all that I could agree or disagree with his politics, the way that he ran the club until the final few years when he just had no longer a need or a will or a want, or his family didn't certainly want him putting any more of his money into the club. You look at those first 30 years, the vision, the ambition, you don't discount it. And instead, this is all about taking something that is actually very personal to a brand, very emotive, and just saying, we'll just sell it to the highest bidder. And I just look at stuff like this and I think, I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all whatsoever. I've got, honest, my brain is melting, and I don't know if it's the time or if it's the coffee that's really just wearing off.
I think it's the
I just
play
need
card.
Nico to step in. I just need Nico in.
Go on, Nico. Go.
All right. I'll save you, Gino.
Thanks.
All right. So let's focus on the fan base, right? Why some of them are accepting this bullshit. So I think there's two different camps. One, there's fans out there that are, they accept mediocrity in their lives. They don't accept, to excel in their career, personal life. They're happy where they're at. Their 9-to-5 job, just kind of riding through life, right, on autopilot, and they're happy with Milan the way it is. And there's the other set of fans are just complete delusional, and in my opinion, losers in life, and they just this is what they accept, and that's it. So, and that, not a personal thing, but that's the reality. I mean, if you live your life a certain way with mediocrity and accept losing, you're going to accept losing in your sport team as well. All right. Yeah. And that's not disrespecting, it's just reality. That's just life. And I just, I've lived my life. I've lived in different states. I've been in different countries. So I have a lot of experience with this. All right. Number two, this atrocity with the logo and with the Yankees. One, I can tell you as an American, the only American here on this panel, so I have a different perspective than you guys over in Europe when it comes to American sports. Most American fans could care less about logos. They're not as passionate about logos and history and the DNA of the club for the majority of sports. They're not as passionate as European fans. That's for sure. All right. So they could care less if the logo's all jacked up, red and black and everything else. And two, right, what blows my mind is that Jerry was under the guidance of George Steinbrenner, the former Yankee owner, back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, when they were winning titles. And he didn't take any of those lessons that he learned to apply it to Milan. Instead, he did the opposite, which I can't understand. He's like, whatever he learned over the years under the Yankees, he could care less, and which doesn't make any sense, because when you're learning something, when you're under you're understudy of somebody who's great at their job, you take those examples and you transition into your own position, which Jerry did not do at all. Instead, he's too busy looking at J-Lo's ass and hoping he can tap it. I don't know.
Have I missed something?
I think I have too. I need to look at J-Lo's.
You need to look at J-Lo's ass. We can all find pictures of that. What is this thing with J-Lo and Jerry?
There was a video or something where they're in a club or somewhere, and J-Lo's on the table dancing, and Jerry's just sat around the table. That's
No way. No way.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I think it was a private party or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. One of those.
Very private. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. How much did that cost him? Wow.
He's got money to burn.
Summer budget.
Our budget, yeah. Our summer budget.
But, yeah. One last thing, guys, and then we'll go on to Shane and everybody else in the panel. But honestly, all joking aside, this pisses me off watching what's happened to our club, the club that I've been a fan since 2006. Fucking hurts inside. Really does. It's painful. It sucks. I hate not getting motivated to watch a game. I could care less about tomorrow's game. I could care less, honestly, about watching the remaining game of the season. And it hurts because I do care about tactics. I care about watching the club, talking about the club on my podcast, which I haven't done in about over a month because I don't have the energy. I could care less. And I wish it was different. So, Jerry, thank you. Thank you, Makata. Thank you, Furlani, for taking that away from me and the rest of the fans.
All right. Well said, Nico. Well said, man. Shane.
Yeah. No, just to go back to Nico's point, I could be a loser that doesn't set his alarm properly and wakes up an hour late for a podcast that Lab Grill has done some stunning great work on the slides as well, by the way. So apologies again, gents. Apologies to Gino and Max as well. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. But
wearing caps, mate.
Yeah,
look at that hair. Look at that hair, lion's mane.
That's it. But
when the house is on fire, the lion will play with matches. I don't know.
But so marketing wise though, there's like I posted in the chat, right? If marketing was a trophy, we would have won it for the last 2 or 3 years, because it just proves, right, that you can literally sell whatever the fuck you want to gullible idiots from a club that's not based on sporting success. My issue is though, there's a bigger. This isn't the whole marketing push, right? Is not just to make money, which you would primarily believe, right? As much as you would think it is, right? If you can hijack a load of young men over in the US that don't know what football is or don't know what the offside rule is, right? And make them believe that they're following a club that's actually decent and tidy, and start buying jerseys every year, not understanding that there's nothing behind that jersey, right? That's a good move. Because what you're doing then is you're kind of fans that remember what it's like to win the Champions League, or who remember what it's like to be competitive in the league every year. You're putting them out to pasture, and you're replacing them with guys that can pump liquidity into your club.
Shane, real quick on that point, and I'll let you can go ahead and continue. I apologize. So the thing with the brand, it's just like the Yankees. So if you know the Yankees, millions of people wear Yankees caps.
Right? I've got a couple.
Yeah. My point is, it's a brand, it's a style thing. Rappers wear it. Jay-Z made it famous years ago, right, in New York. So Milan is becoming that. It's more of a branding thing. Most people are going to buy a Milan jersey not knowing where the club's located, the players. They could care less. They just see a nice jersey with the cool logo, and they're going to purchase it. And that's it.
But the thing is, though, is you see, we're always told about how great the marketing looks and how much money we're making on all these fucking jersey shilling attempts, right? But none of it's been putting back into the playing staff, right?
No, but into J-Lo's kitty.
Yeah. No, literally, I'd say.
Way.
No, so like it's just it is. I mean, it speaks a lot to what the club is now, though. There's nothing real about it. Nico, I think from your feeling, man, I completely get it. Right, you're not alone there. It's no longer anything of the club that I fell in love with when I was a child, right? And I'll have no bad word said about Berlusconi, by the way, because I tell you guys, if I had that power and that money, I'd be doing the exact same shit he did. Just send it.
Wow. Wow. Right. So what I'll do now is read a few comments to finish this bit off. Milan is a football club. The best way to market Milan as a brand is to first win bloody trophies. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fardinho, nice one, mate. Kim says people in particular use titles such as world class, sensational, masterclass. I think we know who they are. They need a good slap, Kim says. And Fardinho says tampering with Milan's logo is a disgrace to Milan's history and reputation. Again, to your point, Nico, that we have a far greater association, right, with logos. Actually, I mean, the uproar in Italy about the monochrome attempt for next year's jersey was quite interesting to see. Kim says should be a criminal offence to mess around with the logo. Fardinho says J-Lo's an investor in Redbird. If being an investor means you have to do a table dance, then I don't want any of it.
Is that what investing is in 2025? Oh yeah, I've pumped money in. Let me act like a fucking hooker in front of the person I gave money to. Is this where we are?
Honestly,
I'll go find this video.
Yeah.
And
For
then Kim
research
says,
purposes, Gino.
Just pure research.
Pure research. Kim says the genius who thought about the idea futuro. I've had podcasts talking about that, whole podcast talking about it with the guys. And then Fardinho says, Gino, since you work in marketing, how do you see the marketing and branding perspective tampering with Milan's logo, a club with a history of more than 100 years? I'll leave that to you to answer, Gino, and then we can move on.
I mean, pretty much what I was saying before. How do I see it from a marketing? So from a marketing perspective, you're actually you're going to have two camps and two types of audiences. One audience who is never going to respect any kind of change to the style, to the identity behind Milan. Okay, and you're going to get another brand, another type of audience, precisely as Nico was saying, and what Shane is saying, where you're going to get these new kinds of fans. You're going to get these young men in different countries going, oh yeah, well, I can see some sort of association. However, from a pure financial perspective, you have to do things which will generate income. This is not the way to generate income. What you don't do is you don't devalue the history of a brand. So there's lots of examples of brands all over the world where they've updated logos, but they've updated logos. They've not tried to make them be part of another business. They've not tried to make them like some sort of CBS crossover show in the States, like Hawaii Five-0 meets, I don't know, Mission Impossible. You know, they've kept the things separate. And the reason why they keep the things separate is because there's identity.
Yeah.
And identity is the biggest thing that you have in terms of branding and marketing. If you don't keep your identity, if you're saying that it's associated with X, Y, and Z, you're weakening that every time. So actually, it's value over time. You can look at all these different studies, but effectively, if the value is like at 100 when you start, you're over a 10-year period, you're weakening it by X amount of percentage every year, the more collaboration that you do. So just from a pure marketing and branding perspective, it just doesn't work. But if you were to talk about the emotive side of it, if you were to talk about what is actually branding, what is marketing, there is an emotional connection with a story that you tell. AC Milan has got fuck all to do with baseball.
Mm.
Fuck all.
Mm.
Like it, you know, playing cards, fine, I get it. Like every club I know has got some sort of branded playing card. That's not the issue. But debasing the logo with a New York Yankees thing is not. It says nothing. It absolutely says nothing about AC Milan. What are you saying that AC Milan is? Are you saying that AC Milan is also New York Yankees from 1899? Like when was America? You know, when did the Yankees get born? Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. It just makes absolutely no sense.
No.
Also, just to Shane, I've just seen Shane's comment. I've annoyed the Swedes. Check. Annoyed anyone up north. Check. I live up north.
Yeah, he's a northerner, man. It's like he's
Also,
spot on,
this is a light day. Max, how many people have I offended by our like 40 on our pod?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Like,
I think by minute 40, Gino.
1 minute 40. There's at least three nations that have been sold. So.
But you know that comment about trains to London. Actually, to be honest, it was spot on. It's true, so true. It's scandalous. It's just let's not improve the economy up there. Let's just effing get you to London better and faster.
But which is precisely how this management is seeing it.
Yeah.
Let's not improve Milan. Let's piggyback Milan's brand capital on something which makes no sense to anyone watching European football.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Fantastic discussion there. Actually, very, very good. All right. And from one disaster to another disaster, the man who's taken control, who's taken the microphone, who's taken the reins, has taken everything. He is interviewing candidate sporting directors. You know, the Paratici, the episode we had last week where I basically said, I don't want that guy at my club. I don't want a guy who's suspended till June. I don't want a guy who was involved in. It's hard to judge what good dealings he did, actually, that were fair, that were clean. It's really hard to judge because the history of Juventus and the way they've been running that club for years. I can't separate the two. Yeah, exactly. I can't separate the two. And actually, Gino, to your point of branding, Juventus rebranded their badge entirely, right? You know, the J Stadium. But that was entirely online with their club. Do you get me? So the other thing that Jay works with is Jeep, which is part of the Agnelli family. So you see what I mean? All of it goes with branding.
But the J, it took a lot for Juventus fans to accept that.
It did.
Still, there's quite a lot that don't. But it's still the story of Juventus.
Yeah.
It's not that they've done a Juventus logo with like then Stellantis underneath it.
Yeah. No, but it made me think as you were talking. So I guess again here the discussion is Paratici. We've discussed it on our pod, and other sporting directors being interviewed. I'll start with giving you my opinion this time, right? My opinion on this is I'm very, very worried about Furlani making sporting decisions for the club, making and appointments that are going to be making sporting decisions for the club, because I don't think the man has a history of having any real knowledge of what is needed. I am not going to ask about or really mention too much about the sponsorship deals that he has sorted out, but that might be his thing. It's a money thing that he's interested in. But is he the right person to be standing there in a room interviewing sporting directors when he's the same man that apparently suggested to Shevchenko, have you ever been to the stadium, which is really amazing, come and have a look at it. He's not a Milan fan, despite whatever he says. Right, that's my saying. Max, go.
Yeah. Should he be the person in charge of hiring a sporting director? No, but who else would then? There is no one else. I definitely wouldn't let Ibrahimovic do it, that's for sure. In terms of Paratici, absolutely categorically not. No chance in hell. He's literally un ladro. He's literally a fraud. So what we're saying is we haven't had a sporting director for 2 years. our results have gone the same way because of it. So we're going to go get a guy who essentially was Juventus's demise, because I'm pretty sure until I think Marotta was the guy that did the good stuff, and then Paratici took over, and then it went downhill. He then went to Spurs, but he was part of the whole Nedved Agnelli problem. He got suspended. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and hire him ready for next season. I mean, it is a horrendous decision when you really think about it. Bearing in mind, there's nobody else, is there? We've had no one for 2 years, but we're going to go hire this guy. It's baffling. It's absolutely baffling. I don't want him anywhere near Milan. I don't want him anywhere near Milanello. I don't want him anywhere near transfers. I don't want him anywhere near anything to do with Milan. Giorgio Forlani is an accountant with the keys to Milan, but I don't want Paratici anywhere near anything. And that's probably the simplest way I can put it.
No, spot on, Max. So let's mix it up a bit. So now we go to a Milanista 360 person. So let's go with Shane. Shane, have you gone to sleep, son?
Oh, no, sorry. I couldn't unmute for some reason. Oh, what a fucking morning, man. Fucking trauma, man. Okay, all right. No, so, all right. What my opinion on this is, Paratici is perfect because it's 2025 guys, and we're all inclusive now, and boys can be girls can be boys, or fire trucks, or unicorns, or tortoises if they identify. So keeping in mind with all this woke culture, right, it's nothing better, right, to ingratiate yourself to other woke people than getting in the next con.
Right now, I'm so glad we're doing it on the MLM podcast. I really am.
So I think it's absolutely perfect, right? It's what we deserve. Again, the guy, I completely agree with what you're saying though, Max, about about Paratici especially, right? He doesn't really have a track record of success unless he has Marotta. So it's not really going to improve things. But then again, I don't really think improving things is what they're interested in. The less money that they can actually spend on getting someone, including a guy that can't actually legally do the job till July, I think it's probably a good move. So honestly, where we're at with this club, guys, new sporting director or not, it's not going to matter, because it still has to go through the filter of any sporting director has to satisfy Redbird and Elliott management, the two of which, right, are not getting on at all well together, right? So when Forlani has to go with two solicitors to go and see Cardinale and remind them who owns the club, and that's why Ibra has been put out to pasture, which was a Redbird fucking hire, it's not really going to work out. So it doesn't matter who it is. The only hope we would have would be if it was maybe a sporting director that had a track record of building up a club from, maybe mid-table, because that's where we're at. Finding great young established talent and building the club successfully around that. Paratici is none of these things. There was a guy from the Bundesliga whose name escapes me that we were looking at. I think he would have maybe fit the model a bit better, because he understands what it is to kind of build your club around good young strong players. Paratici, though, he's going to tick a box. Ticking boxes is what we do. It's 2025. It's not going to lead us anywhere. And we're just going to be back in the same situation next year, playing in the Conference League, wondering why the fuck, we're without Leao, we're without Maignan because they've gone to the EPL or somewhere else. The outlook is not good. And the outlook is not good for the next 10 years until this magical stadium is built, or until Cardinale fucks off. It is what it is. So,
mic drop. We need a podcast where it's just Gino and Shane, right?
How many people can we?
And we have lawyers on site.
Let's make it happen.
Right,
I'm there for it.
Let's switch back, and now we go back to MLM. So, go on, Gino. Give us your
opinion. Nothing really to add to anything that Max or Shane have said, actually.
Yeah, you don't
I
want to say
can't
anything about.
add anything.
You don't want to say anything about modern society. No, okay, all right.
Well, I do want to say stuff about modern society,
No.
but Max has got to get back into the house, and a few of us have got to get. So,
My kids,
Shane, you hit me up, mate, and we'll do a podcast about modern society.
Nice.
my kids have realised that I'm just sat in the car,
No,
and they're just looking across at me like, Dad,
What is Dad doing in the car?
what are you doing?
Daddy, are you going to be getting McDonald's for us every weekend? They'll be thinking driving like an AC, bloody hell.
why have you got a picture of a model next to you, Dad, in the car by yourself?
Yeah.
Well, my son just took a picture of me with his iPad, so that's worrying.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah, let's wind this up, guys.
Yeah, this is but
I'm worried for Max. I'm worried for Max.
So Nico, go.
Well, let me just say a few things, even though everybody said everything I wanted to say. And listen, we deserve Patrick. We deserve Furlani being put in charge. We deserve any sporting director they decide to bring on to Milan. End of story. That's it. Because, and that's it. I mean, and as Shane, I don't think it's going to be 10 years until we get better again. But it's going to be a few seasons.
It'll take a while to repair this.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to summer sales. This is the last topic. Absolutely last topic.
I like this one.
What do you guys think? This is on Shane's request, and Shane gets to have his request now that he's turned up. The rumor is these two guys are on the way out, and there's nothing to keep them. There's nothing. They're not going to be renewed. They're going to be opened up, especially once we are confirmed as out of the Champions League. Revenues have to be made somehow. Money has to be used. Your opinion on their sales, Max?
My opinion on their sales. Teo Hernandez has been poor for probably 2 seasons now. He's been incredibly inconsistent up and down. I know I got some shit on X for saying it, but it's not the fact that he's allowed to have a bad game. It's the shitty attitude and the running back slowly and the just sort of lack of desire to be here. So if he's gone, he's gone. Fine, as long as we get a decent amount from him, I guess. I'm a bit more annoyed with Mannion. I'd rather not sell Mannion. I'd rather keep him. I don't think it's Mannion's. Although he has had some blunders this season, I don't think it's Mannion's fault. I think at least Mannion puts the effort in. He tries. He's got the captain airband on. I don't really want him sold. I'd try and push that renewal if it was me. But Teo Hernandez, he can go. I watched this guy go. I can watch anybody go if I'm honest. And when Tonali was sold, I kind of lost the little part of me, like sort of, here we go, sort of thing. So if you can even sell Tonali, then we can get over it. Then whoever can go, really, in my opinion. But I'd rather keep Mannion. Teo, fine, we can find a functional player. But cool. Mannion, no, I'd rather keep him. That's my opinion.
Okay, keep one, sell one. All right, so Gino.
Sell Teo, keep Mannion.
He's on the
sell
same.
A few others.
Yeah.
Just got the team of the people that don't want to play for us, don't want to play for the badge. But like Shane, like Nico, like yourself, John has said, like Max has said plenty of times, it's not just the players' fault. This is management, and they don't make us want to play for anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Nico.
All right, I'll make this quick. Listen, I like to keep Dale, but he deserves to be in a better club, get him motivated again, be in a club that's actually focused on winning titles. Even though he's been poor for us, but he's demotivated, being that he's lost friends, lost his mentor in Maldini, which affects people different than individuals, right? I mean, they're human beings, for crying out loud. Mike, keep, bro. I'd also like to see the kid Torriani play more minutes next season, because that kid's social promise. And one last thing, even though we didn't mention it, I hope, for the sake of some of these fans, I hope the rumors are true. and they sign Grealish in the summer.
Oh,
Bring him. I swear. I hope they bring that drunk Englishman to Milan. That's what.
Oh, Grealish. Oh, Grealish.
I hope they make it happen.
Oh my God! What the hell was
They'll
that
give me
rumor?
some more ammo next season to talk about.
No.
A Brummie in Milan.
Huh?
Oh Jesus!
No, it'd be a disaster, man. Right, Shane. You asked for this topic.
No, to be honest, you guys kind of encapsulated it quite well. I think, with Theo, you can tell his head is somewhere else. When he's not knocking out cocktail waitresses, he hasn't been showing up on the pitch.
Hey, we're an MLM. Bang, 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 bang.
That's unproven, all right there.
Thank you. We're an MLM.
Allegedly.
Guilty until proven innocent.
You on the MLM podcast, we say it and then we say allegedly. Okay, that's the only rule.
Pretty sure that's how it works.
But we can say it as long as you say allegedly.
That's it. And then Magnano, there's no way we should lose Magnan. So I get what some of the fan base are saying, that, well, look, he has been a bit leaky this year, right?
Cool.
But if you put a defensive structure in front of Magnan where he's not getting shot at like an OnlyFans model for 90 minutes of a game, I think it kind of makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
This is definitely good to be an MLM.
So I think it's kind of, for me, Magnan has to be kept. You can't really replace world class that easy. And with our management and the way that we go about things, getting in a world class player is impossible. We're going to be waiting on a player to try and mature for 2 or 3 years, hope becomes good, and then Magnan has to stay. Theo, I'm sorry, I love the guy. For the most part,
more than most. You love him more than most, don't you, Shane?
I do, because he's my spirit animal, John. I understand it, man, because I get him. But the problem is, when you haven't shown up for about 2 years, and I think it kind of aligns with Maldini going, right? Let's be honest, because when you don't have that kind of role model at the club, right, things suffer. And unfortunately, you can't expect the likes of Theo to be looking, well, they wouldn't be looking up to Ferlani, to be looking down, but you know what I mean. It's kind of it's what it is.
Yeah. Awesome. So it just leaves me to say thank you. I'm going to try and remember the names. Guys, tell me if I missed anyone. So Gunardi, Kim, Kashavit, Fahadinho. Anyone else that I might have missed? I don't think I've missed anyone on our chat today. But it was an absolute pleasure. Max and Gino, honestly, a brutal time. We're never doing this again when there's an effing clock change like this. First of all, because we'd like to go on time.
So sorry to everyone here. Honestly, it is not acceptable, and it's not the way that I live my life. Honestly,
No. That's the thing we were saying, is like, you're the one guy that gets up really early to go to the gym every day. The guy's a beast. He's the early bird. We're not.
So sorry.
Today's the red bird, though. Right. I just want to say thank you, guys. Honestly, a really good discussion. And now we're in 38 minutes. Max, you're an absolute legend. You're a trooper to be in your car doing this, having your kids taking pictures of you. Keep enjoying Elle. She'll keep you company for many days to come.
Yeah, she's
You'll need it now, mate. I tell you.
You're warm.
It's Mother's Day as well. I'm in trouble now.
Mate,
we're doing a whip around after this, mate, just to support the extension in the garage, and when you have to take your kids for their Sunday meals, once you see them once a week.
Just when I have to take them to Morrison's in the cafe and use the app.
Oh shit!
Just use the internet there. That's fine.
Is that a famous chain over there?
Yeah, well,
Morrison's.
Which is best described as if Whole Foods was on crack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morrison's.
All right, well,
interesting.
Let's wrap up then. So, yeah, guys, it wasn't supposed to be an MLM. It was supposed to be a Melissa 360, but we're on the MLM. So we'll go with that. It's been a real privilege. Thank you, guys. I love spending time with you guys. It's brilliant. And I think we need to do more of these collab podcasts because they always go quite well. Just please like, subscribe, rate the MLM podcast. You can get us on all the kinds of different social medias. Please also rate and like these guys as well. They do a great job. They've got a great channel. They've got some great people as well. So yeah, just plug away, guys, and then we'll end the stream, I reckon.
Okay, ciao a tutti, forza Como.
All
Bye,
right,
guys.
Like
See you
and
later.
subscribe. See you later.
And don't be like Shane.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Cheers,
Bye,
guys.
bye.
Shane and I have got the